Hi, good afternoon to each and every one of you. I'm back here and you are there, back again to watch my video this time or this afternoon. And I would like to greet all of you, konnichiwa, and to our Spanish viewers, buenas tardes to all of you. Alright, so I have a new lesson for this afternoon. And you can see the weather is quite unfriendly because it's gloomy and it's going to rain the whole night. Right? So, and my lesson is about the uncountable nouns. When I say uncountable, they cannot be pluralized or we cannot count them at all. So, these nouns or these words have no plural form. Okay? They just remain the same thing. And they are pretty much the same when you are going to use that in plural form. Okay? So, like for example, this is the common mistake of our minds, and this is a food. Whenever they see so much food on the table, they say it foods, which is really incorrect. So you just have to say food, only food, never say foods. Okay? So that is more appropriate for you to say it. Even there are many food served on the table. Okay? You just have to say food. And next we have bread. You cannot say breads, right? Because you can only say bread. Even there are so much bread on the table or wherever it is, or wherever they are, you cannot say breads. Only bread. Alright, so next word that we have is pasta. Okay? So you cannot say pastas. Only pasta, right? Next is the meat of beef, of cow. So this is beef. You cannot say beefs, right? You can only say 2 kilos of beef, or 3 kilos. And next is the pork. You cannot say porks. You can only say 2 kilos, 3 kilos of pork, and not porks. Okay? So next we have here is chicken. You cannot say chickens. You can only say chicken. Right? Even there are so much chicken on the table, you cannot say chickens. Only chicken. Right? And next is honey. You can say honeys. Okay? So you can only say honey. Did you get it? Alright, so the next uncountable nouns that we have here is can be the thinking or the feeling. Right? So you cannot pluralize those words. Okay? So the next word we have here is the courage. Okay? So you cannot say courageous. Okay? Next is the beauty. You cannot say beauties. Only beauty. So the next word that we have here is bravery. You can say braveries. Right? So you can only say bravery. Okay? So only bravery and not braveries. Okay? So that is very clear. And next we have is freedom. We cannot say freedoms. Only freedom is permissible to say. Because we cannot pluralize the word freedom. Only freedom. And not freedoms. Okay? So, then next we have here the feeling of grief. You cannot say griefs, but only grief. Okay, so the next word we have here, or the next word should I say, guilt. You can say guilt. Guilt, you can say that guilt, only guilt. And the power, you can say powers, but only what? Power. Right? Okay, so that is very clear. The feeling or the thinking. So you cannot pluralize those words because they are considered as uncountable nouns. And now let's move on to the nouns that are intangible. What do I mean by intangible? They cannot be touched, right? Because they have no physical presence. So you cannot touch them. So we call this intangible nouns. So these are not tangible, only intangible. So the first example that I have here is what? Fire. What is fire? So you cannot say that fires, but only fire. You can touch that, right? You can only add S to the word fire if you're going to use that as a verb. Alright, like for example, the manager fires her employee. You see? So you can use that, you can add S to the word fire if you're going to use that as a verb. That is very clear, right? And next, the word what we have here is air. We can attach the air, right? So, and you cannot also pluralize that to airs. So, that is only air that we can feel, nor can we touch, right? So that is the next is the knowledge. We cannot touch the knowledge. So and you cannot also pluralize the word knowledges, but only knowledge. And the word time, right? So that is also intangible, and you cannot touch that. And that is time. You cannot say times, right? Alright, so next we have here, okay, so those are the words that are uncountable nouns, meaning you cannot count them, and you cannot pluralize them. Okay, to wrap this up, or I would like to reiterate these words for you to have this review. So what I had mentioned earlier, the words that are uncountable, and they are food. You can say foods, right? Bread, pasta, beef, pork, chicken, and honey, right? And the things and the feelings that I discussed earlier. So these are what? The courage, beauty, bravery, freedom, grief, guilt, power, right? So, and the intangible noun that we cannot really touch. These are fire and power, air, heat, time, and knowledge. So we cannot pluralize them to we cannot pluralize them, the words that I have mentioned, because they are uncountable nouns. So those are the nouns that we cannot really count, that I just have mentioned. So if you find this informative and educational and helpful for you, just subscribe to this channel, and I hope that you're going to learn something from these things that I have just tackled and will be talking about. So thank you very much for the time that you have spared with me, and thank you for listening. And I hope that you learned something from this. Okay, so thank you very much, and this has been yours truly, Sir John, Sir JJ, saying, Domo arigatou gozaimashita, muchas gracias, and bye now, for now.